I tried to end my affair quietly, but my husband caught me. And his revenge was just beginning. I didn't dress up that day. No eyeliner, no perfume. Not even the red wrap dress Alan used to say made his knees weak. I wanted it clear. This wasn't a date. It was closure. The Italian cafe on Melrose Avenue was quiet, the kind of place people forgot existed. Fitting, really, it was where the affair began. It felt like a cruel kind of poetry to end it there too. Across from me sat Caleb, my mistake personified. He sipped his espresso like we were just old friends catching up. "This has to stop," I said, voice steady. "Alan doesn't deserve any more of this. It was wrong from the start." Caleb leaned back, unconvinced. "You've said that before, Lila. This time I mean it." I avoided his eyes. "Alan's been good to me. He's kind, loyal. I can't keep betraying that." Caleb tilted his head. "Then why did you come to me in the first place?" The silence that followed was heavy. I couldn't explain it, not really. Loneliness, boredom, the thrill of attention. It all sounded so pathetic when spoken out loud. So I said nothing. What I didn't notice, what I should have, is the silver Lexus idling across the street. I didn't see the figure standing just outside the cafe window, hands in coat pockets, watching through the glass. Caleb, to his credit, didn't argue. He dropped some cash on the table and stood up, brushing crumbs off his jacket. As he leaned in, his voice was sharp, too sharp to be romantic. "Tell your husband I'm sorry. Sorry he was too blind to see what he had." I winced. It wasn't a goodbye, it was a jab. The last dig from a man who realized he'd lost, and wanted to wound on his way out. As I turned to leave, relief washing over me, I froze. Just inside the door stood Alan. Expression blank. Eyes unreadable. No fury. No accusations. Just stillness. My breath caught in my throat. For a moment I wondered if I'd imagined him. But I hadn't. His gaze moved from Caleb's empty seat to me. He didn't speak. Didn't blink. Then he simply turned and walked away. I caught up to him just as he reached the car. "Alan, please let me explain," I begged. He didn't even turn around. He opened the driver's door, sat down and drove off. No words. No goodbye. I stood there on the sidewalk, heart pounding. Not because I'd been caught, but because of how quiet he'd been. I realized something terrifying in that moment. Alan hadn't stumbled upon this. He knew. He'd come to confirm it. I didn't sleep that night. His side of the bed stayed untouched. His toothbrush was gone. Half his clothes missing. Texted. Called. No answer. By morning things spiraled. My phone buzzed. Joint bank account access revoked. I opened the app, locked out. Then an email. "Your password has been changed." He was shutting me out of everything. By 10 a.m. I was at Mara's house. Alan's sister. She had always been my ally. She opened the door, but her warmth was gone. "Lila," she said, arms crossed. "You shouldn't be here." "Mara, please." I made a mistake. I was ending it. I didn't know Alan was coming. "You ended it after you tore him apart," she snapped. "Do you have any idea what he's gone through? The nights he blamed himself. The therapy sessions. I couldn't hold back the tears. I didn't mean to." "He's not angry anymore," she said quietly. "And that's what should scare you." Then she closed the door. The divorce papers came the next morning. Thick envelope. Already signed. Already filed. Filed 2 weeks ago. Before the cafe. Before I ended the affair. Alan had known everything. And instead of exploding, he planned. I dialed the attorney listed on the documents. "I'm sorry," the assistant said. "Mr. Alan Reese has requested all communication go through our office. He will not speak to you directly. This can't be happening. He's already removed you from the joint accounts, transferred property titles, and placed protective measures over all family inheritance." Protective measures. Yes, including a court order to prevent financial access and property claims. I was spiraling. Then came the job blow. At work, no one met my eyes. In the break room, whispers. At 3 p.m., HR called me into a meeting. On the table sat a thick folder. Screenshots, messages, photos, time-stamped logs. This material was submitted through our whistleblower platform, HR said. I was placed on administrative leave. My world, unraveling in real time. And Alan still hadn't said a word. When I returned home, a box was waiting on the porch. Inside, my wedding dress, dry cleaned and sealed. A USB flash drive. A folded note. You chose to see him one more time. This is my one last gift. Do not contact me again. A.R. My hands trembled as I plugged the flash drive into my laptop. Footage of me and Caleb. Of our conversation at the cafe. Start to finish. Hidden camera. My nervous tone. Caleb's farewell. And finally Alan's entrance. Captured like a documentary. At the end, the screen faded to black. Closure is a luxury you no longer get to have. The video didn't go public. Not on YouTube. Not viral. But it spread. Clients, colleagues, friends, family. Alan sent it selectively. Quietly. By clockwork. No captions. No context. Just evidence. At work they didn't wait. I was fired. No appeal. No defense. Home my phone stopped ringing. Friends ghosted. Family fell silent. My own sister said, "You didn't just crack the glass. You dropped the whole damn chandelier." Then came the final twist. A YouTube channel. Anonymous. Polish. Titled, The Cost of Silence. First video. Cafe footage. Blurred faces, altered voices, but unmistakable for those who knew. The voiceover. Not Alan's but clearly his words. You don't need revenge to win. You need distance, strategy, and the patience to let them destroy themselves. I now live in a studio apartment. I scrub dishes for cash. I live off ramen. I haven't heard from Alan since. Not a text. Not a rumor. Just nothing. But then I heard his voice again on a podcast. A surprise guest. Alan Reese. Emotional strategist. The host asked, "How do you deal with betrayal?" Alan answered, "With silence. With planning. You don't have to fight fire with fire. Just stop fueling the flames." He never named me. Never gloated. But I could feel every word. That night, I looked at the old photo on my fridge. Our wedding day. His smile. So pure. Surreal. And I whispered, "You didn't deserve any of this." Then I sank to the floor and cried like never before. Not for the marriage, not even for the loss. But for what I destroyed. A few weeks later, a letter arrived. No sender. Just my name. Inside one typed quote. "Some storms don't come to destroy you. They come to clear your path." At the bottom, in small print. "I've walked mine. Now you walk yours." No signature. No bitterness. Just closure. Was Alan's revenge cruel? Or was it justice served cold? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, every betrayal leaves a shadow. And silence sometimes is the loudest revenge.